So this is part 2 on how to tell the difference between a natural diamond and a lab-grown diamond. Part 1, we discussed fluorescence and how we use black lights or UV lights to identify if a diamond fluoresces or not, and that 25% of the time a natural diamond is going to fluoresce, 10% of the time a lab-grown diamond is going to fluoresce. They'll fluoresce different colors. I got quite a bit of pushback on this, and that's fair, not just on TikTok. TikTok for some reason didn't push that video, but Instagram did. I got pushback from my own mom. Okay, so we're going to talk about how I identify and how you can identify at home without fancy gemological equipment if your diamond is a lab or natural diamond. Now, you've probably seen me use this in my videos as like a little like microphone. I do actually use this for gemological purposes. If you know, you know. This is a jeweler's loupe. This is sometimes called a jeweler's eye or just a loupe. It is 10x magnification, which is what the whole world grades diamonds at. It's okay, we're fine, we're fine. But it is what the whole world grades diamonds at. We actually don't grade diamonds under a microscope. You will put a diamond under a microscope to identify the inclusions that you're seeing, to see what they are, but most of the time, especially really good diamond graders, just use a loupe. Okay, so this is an inclusion of a natural diamond. This is called a natural etched channel, and as you can see right up here, it's kind of like a white gray, and this is just part of the natural formation of a diamond. Here is another example of a natural diamond inclusion. All diamonds have inclusions unless they are flawless, which is like Smithsonian level, or internally flawless, which is still really uncommon. But this is a included mineral crystal. So only natural diamonds can have included mineral crystals. And I've talked about previously on my channel about the two different types of lab-grown diamonds, HPHT and CVD. We're not going to get into those. You can go watch the video if you want to learn more about that, because that's a whole video in and of itself. But they are grown differently, which means their inclusions, their characteristics are going to be different. So this is a metallic flux inclusion of an HPHT diamond. The one thing that really stands out about all lab-grown diamond inclusions is their dark black characteristic. And these are from the chemicals they use to create the diamond. And here is an example of a non-diamond carbon inclusion that is commonly found in CVD. So 90% of the time it's graphite that gets trapped in there, because people forget that graphite is also pure carbon. So carbon isn't what makes a diamond, it's the atomic structure. And a lot of times when you're kind of, I don't want to say messing with it, but when you're man-making it, it's going to make mistakes. So I actually had a client who, they showed me a ring that they had bought. I was just cleaning it for them. And whenever I clean anything, I'm going to ask, do you know what this is? They said, yes, these are diamonds. And I said, great. Natural or lab? And they said natural. And as I gave it a good clean, I didn't even need my jeweler's loupe to look at the center stone and saw some pretty obvious black marks on it. Cleaned it again, went, yeah, this is actually a lab-grown diamond. Went to that person and asked them, hey, did you know these are lab-grown diamonds? I'm fairly confident these are lab-grown diamonds. And they went, they never said. And I went, okay, where did you buy it from? Found out the name of the jeweler and went, okay, what did you pay for it? And they paid, luckily, they paid lab-grown diamond prices. This jeweler is pretty notorious for, I wouldn't say not disclosing, and this is, again, like I covered in part 1, of sometimes people just aren't educated on the difference between natural and lab-grown diamonds, including a lot of jewelers, especially jewelers that have been around for a long time. Lab-grown diamonds, although we've been using lab-grown diamonds in the industry for drill parts and stuff since the 1950s. We haven't been using or creating lab-grown gem quality diamonds till like 2010, 2015. So they're really new in the industry, and people just market it as, oh, there's a diamond. And there is important differences that clients need to be made aware of, including these different characteristics. The other thing is, if you have a included HPHT diamond with a lot of metallic flux, it actually can be magnetic. So you can take a magnet, hold it to the diamond, and it's going to be attracted to the magnet. So I guess there's another non-gemological equipment you can use to identify if the diamond is a natural or lab-grown diamond. Again, this is not to hate against lab or natural diamonds. This is so that you can make an informed purchase and also be able to protect yourself from being swindled.